Okay, here we go. So, official welcome to the resilience and growth masterpiece that I have created. I didn't know what to call it because it's just so much different to anything I've ever delivered before. And I just wanted to, it is my masterpiece. It's something that I've recognized was born within me. It's not something that I've learned somewhere else. And I think a lot of the times we do learn things somewhere else, and that's good. And we share it with our clients, with our audiences, with the communities that we're in, the network that we have. But this is something that has come from within me. It's come from my own journey, and it's something that I've recognized that most of us need to work through when it comes to achieving our goals. And it's called charm. And it's something that I developed at the end of writing my book last year. When I launched my book, I talked about it at the celebration launch that we did in person. I've talked about it since at Climb UK, which is one of the world's biggest, UK's biggest business festival, which was amazing. I delivered it there, and I wanted to go deeper and more in depth. So this is what I've been able to bring to the table with this, and I've put it together, and I love this framework so much that even while I was typing out my notes to run this session, I actually had my own brainwaves, my own realizations, which is just mind blowing. But it shows that it works, and I'm a person that loves evidence. I love evidence. So if you love evidence too, get to implement it and see how the evidence of how much it works comes across for you as well. So, oh, it's not working on keyboard click, is it? There we go. So first up, your business growth strategy. This is what I want to be focused on today with the charm framework, focusing on building resilience, building your focus, and eventually building your freedom. That is what we are wanting to build. However, I know that you're probably sick of cookie cutter strategies. And the charm framework is a framework, it's a step-by-step, but it's not a strategic strategy that I'm going to go tell you to go and do. It helps you grow with a custom fit strategy that's built on resilience and not trends. During this session, I want to create an impact, which is exactly why I decided to put this out there for free. I want to eliminate the barrier of paying for support. So I'm doing this for free and in the best way that I can. Another barrier might be time, because I'll admit that this session won't be short. So I do urge you to make the time for it if you can right now. And then if you can't, please make time to come back to it and to commit to yourself and commit in the sense of coming back to it. Or even if you're doing it live with me, come back to it as well, because it'll just get so much deeper. There'll be so much more depth, so much more realization, so much thought that you can put into it if you give it the time that you and your business deserve with it. So I recognised some problems. This is what I've seen. There's two types of bit of research that I've done as part of this. Mine was like looking out on what I see and seeing the problems. I've just noticed a spelling mistake, but ignore that. I did my own research, recognising problems out there. This was my thoughts, my opinions. But then the secondary bit of research I did was I actually asked you guys, I asked the ones who were showing up, who were getting involved, who wanted to come to a workshop like this. And I wanted to bring them into it as part of it. So the problem with starting, growing and scaling a business is that we are not born strategists. We're not born marketers, not born content creators. And we have to not only learn it, but we evolve with it too. I'm sure we all have seen changes on the impact of business over the years, and we have to evolve with that. There's a constant evolution. We can't just stay still. The second problem is that because we recognise this, we seek the answers. We seek the strategy to get us to 1K followers. We seek the marketing that will get us to 10K months. And we seek the content that will level up our engagement. And I'm sure that you'll probably resonate with this. This happens when your behaviour is downloading the next freebie like it's going to solve the problem, buying the next masterclass that it's going to solve a problem, buying the next thing that's going to solve a problem. And usually if that thing is solving the problem of one thing, It's cookie cutter, and that might be why it's not working for you. I've just noticed my second typo. Oh, I love it. The third problem is that the strategies out there being taught do work, but the person teaching it, it works for them, and that's why it might not be working for you because it's not in true alignment with how you best strategize. It's not in true alignment with how you market, and it's not the best way that you create for growth. So what you need is structure, support, and strategy, but in a way that works for you. And then the problems that you guys have been telling me, that this research that I've been doing, is that right now you might be feeling, I don't know where my business is heading. Like, who might have said that? You wake up some days wondering if you're on the right path or you're just spinning your wheels. You want direction, but right now it feels like you're just reaching to things instead of building a plan. Being confused around marketing and sales. One person says post every day, another person says build funnels, someone else says focus on DMs, and you're left second guessing everything. You're not sure what actually works for you, and it can be exhausting. I'm on a roller coaster of emotions. Some days you're buzzing with more motivation, full of ideas, then the very next day you feel drained, unmotivated, and you wonder if you can keep going at all. And this often leads to your brain not being able to switch off, overthinking every decision. Your to-do list is never ending. And actually, disclaimer, it never ends. The to-do list is always going to be there. But it leaves you feeling overwhelmed, keeps you stuck, and it stops you from moving forward. This I hear all the time. I wish I had more time. There never seems to be enough hours. You feel like constantly working, but not actually moving the needle in your business. You need to be more organised. I also, of course, hear this one all the time. Deep down, you know systems and structure would make life easier, but right now it feels chaotic. Timekeeping slips, priorities clash, and important things for your business and your strategy get delayed. And this one, I feel most people truly want a consistent, stable, reliable income because it feels safe. Nothing feels safer than knowing what's coming. But the inconsistency is draining. One good month followed by two bad ones. You can crave predictable income that you can rely on. You can actually have it and not just feast and famine. And the big one, running a business feels harder than it should. There's the admin, the processes, the business side of things. It can be really overwhelming. And you started your business to do what you love, but now it feels like you're drowning in the mechanics of it all. Running a big business feels harder than it should. Sometimes the tech stuff feels harder than it should. So admin's processes, business side, all the things, it's overwhelming. But you actually started your own business to do what you love, and now it feels like you're drowning in the mechanics of it all. How do I know this? How can I be in your head? I want to impact change, massively want to impact change, and I want you to think clearly about how you strategize, how you market and create for your business. But I also want you to be aware of the core fundamentals for all businesses. And I'm going to give you three of them right now. You need to clearly know your mission, your vision, and your values. Everybody's looking for these secrets to make your business a success, but the reality is, it's just those three things are going to be absolutely fundamental to your success because you're going to be able to communicate that. You've got, well, people do this work and then they don't breathe the essence of it into their business. And that is one of the biggest missing keys that I see all the time. But it starts with clarity, and I'm going to talk about clarity in a second. I want you to be able to not only get clear on what your next steps are, but I want you to be able to walk away and commit to them as well. I want you to use what you've got and gain exceptional growth. I want you to be able to create a freedom business that brings in clients, brings in income, but also whilst having time to rest, to be yourself, to do things outside of your business that you love as well. And most of all, I want you to take action. I want you to actually be able to implement it because the biggest, most challenging thing in my job is seeing people show up to these things and not taking action because I know there's just nothing there to get you going. So if you've been nodding along to these, you're not alone. These struggles are so common at this stage of business, and it's not just because you're not capable or working hard enough. It's because no one actually hands you the playbook for running a business that works without draining you. Instead, you're getting handed these step-by-step, do this, do that strategies. Now, I'm not going to say there isn't a place for certain things. For example, I always say you should do email marketing for your business. That is definitely a should. But it doesn't mean you should do social media. It doesn't mean you should do blogging, podcasts, because it's the latest trend. You shouldn't publish a book just because everybody is doing it. We're not in the playground anymore. We don't need to give in to peer pressure. So that's the truth in it all. It's not that you're not capable. It's just that nobody give you the actual business playbook. Because there isn't one. You've got to find your way. The good news is these problems are not permanent. These are simply signals that you're missing some key foundations. Once you have the right system and structure, things start to feel clearer, calmer, and more consistent. And the solution that I came up with is the CHARM framework. I use it and teach it inside my mastermind, and I'm with all my clients, to be fair. It's the same approach that's helped business owners go from feeling stuck and overwhelmed to having clarity, confidence, and a business that actually grows. So let me walk you through it. But before I do, in case you didn't know me, I want to briefly share who I am. So I'm a podcaster, I'm a speaker, I'm a best-selling author, and I'm passionate about teaching service-based business owners how to create freedom and fortune and walk away from burnout and breakdown through business organisation, business operations, and strategy as we work on the systems, processes, and procedures that ensure your business works towards a time-rich lifestyle. Before the world of business, I built a parenting community with an 8K following. I had an admin team on there, business sponsors. I did it all for free and for fun, but it was an amazing success. And that was before I even dipped my toe. That was before I really knew what I was doing. And then I started my first business selling keepsakes. And I grew that into a 10K audience and had an affiliate team. 6 years in though, and I struggled, but then I learned the business fundamentals, implemented strategy, got organised, and within 4 months, my business was fully booked. I then ran a Leeds networking group for Mums in Business International, and I was one of the top leaders in the company. I actually walked away from the keepsakes business and the networking company, but I then started my coaching business because I wanted to help others make money and share not just what I knew and what I had learned about marketing, social media, sales and strategy, but how I had organised it to work for my business, because everyone's ways of doing things just were overwhelming me, to be honest. And that's what I want to support you with today as well. Over the last 11 to 12 years, I've spent tens of thousands of pounds investing money, but also time, implementing to learn strategy, marketing, sales. And not many people know this, but I have upskilled massively in the last few years. I'm a massive active learner and business geek. I'm passionate about not only teaching what I know, but I've learned website building, I've learned copywriting, I've learned SEO and well, the most recent ones are SEO, which is search engine optimization, and ads. I've fallen in love with learning all of these methods that are essential in today's marketing world. And better than just learning them, I've practiced them and I teach what I know, and I teach it within my Time-Rich Mastermind. When I'm working with clients, I like to do the deep work into who you are as a business, as a brand, and help you deliver that as the essence of what you do within your strategy, within your marketing, your messaging, and into every decision you make, which is why I want to share with you my signature framework, CHARM framework. It's my resilience and growth masterpiece, and I'm going to explain just briefly what I mean by this. I see resilience and growth because I realised that with the challenging things that we face throughout running a bit of life, not even the business, as a parent, as a carer, even as a pet parent, pet mum if you're a pet mum or dad as well, pet parents as well. Like, whatever responsibilities we have within our lives, they present challenges. And I have continued to grow regardless of what's been going on for me. And I see so many other business owners that have these amazing ideas, but they just don't have the resilience to keep going to be able to get them out into the world because life happens. And I recognize that as my superpower. And I wanted to really encompass how I'd managed to do it. So I sat and thought about it and I mapped out this framework based on solely that. What had I done that had really had its impact? And it's this CHARM framework. So CHARM stands for clarity, honour, acceptance, regulation, and movement. I honestly believe that this framework can be used for any goal. This is because there's a process, it's something to move through, and it's about your energy, your feelings, your commitment, and your alignment with your strategy to get exactly what you want. But today, we focus on your business goals because that's where I like to play. Working through my framework, I want you to be able to be aware that the reason you feel the way you do right now and you're not where you want to be, and not always because you don't know how, it's most likely because you haven't looked deeper at why the how is not happening. And I want to dive into this with you and have a strategic edge that will guide you to take action. So first up is clarity. The first question I want to ask you right now is, what is it that you want? I want you to sit with this and think about this. There's going to be a few questions I repeat, so definitely write them down. Definitely come back to them and spend some time honestly sitting with them and answering them. Because if you don't know this, then there's no roadmap. There's nothing you can follow, no plan, because you have no idea where this journey is taking you. And that is the biggest problem. Another problem is that actually asking yourself that question deep in your gut, you probably do know, but it's scary to say out loud. It's scary to admit to yourself. But then the second question about that, because you need to know your direction, is where else in your business are you not clear? Is it your brand message? Is it who you want to work with? Is it the services that you're offering? And when I say the services that you're offering, I'm not just talking about the name of it, the features of it, like how long people get with you or the price of it. I'm talking deeper than that. The transformation that it delivers, why your ideal client needs it, who is perfect for it, how you can sell it to them. You've got to be clear about all this. How are you marketing them? The sales process, when and where you deliver. This may seem basic, but it's not. With every inch of your business, you need to get deeper. You have to see the bigger picture, the bigger thinking, the why. Clarity believes into everything that you do. If you're not clear on the result, you can't get anyone consuming you. And people consuming you, your brand, your marketing, your process, they'll know it. If you're not clear, they'll know it. If you are clear, they know it. The best strategic fix for where you're at right now is getting focused on clarity in every area of your business. Everyone's business is different, which is why inside my mastermind, I help you adapt this framework into the way that you work best. Because for you, it might be different to someone else. Then there's honour. Going back to my first question on clarity and what you want to achieve, how can you honour the commitment to it? And that's a really big question. It's a question that actually might make you see what you've not been doing, where you've been avoiding things. But honour, most importantly, comes with feeling. It's knowing that the goal is absolutely right for you and that it's not conditioned upon by others around you. So when it comes to selling something, when it comes to part of your strategy, when it comes to delivering something, whether it's free or you're getting paid for it, you have to feel it. Even down to the name of your offer, you have to be aligned with, you have to feel it. Sometimes it's just so conditioned by others around you, by what you've been consuming. that you actually can't honour the commitment to the goal. Might not even be your goal. So first of all, you need to be connected to it through feeling to be able to honour it. To honour it, you need to feel it, you need to be connected to it, and you need to be truly in alignment with it. When it comes to creating that level of commitment, because that's what honouring your goal is, it's a commitment, it's how can you hold yourself accountable? And I really do want you to sit and answer these questions. Write them down, sit with them later, answer them all, come to me at the end and we'll talk about them, because it's when it comes to honouring your commitment to your business, to your strategy, to your goals, it's more than just discipline. It's about how do you make working towards that goal a non-negotiable part of your day-to-day life. And I'm not even saying just in general, but how do you do it in an aligned, strategic way that's actually going to get you results? Do you need to implement new habits? Do you need to work on your focus? Because I see a lot of people chasing shiny object syndromes. What speaks to you when you think about how you honour your commitment to getting what you want? And the deepest and toughest question that deserves the most honesty is why? Why have you not been able to commit before? You've got to get really honest with yourself to be able to grow. You've got to get uncomfortable in that question, in that why to grow. Why have you not been able to commit before? Master clarity around this answer to this question and recognise what's really holding you back. I want you to recognise the reality here, and if you have been distracted, if you have been making excuses, or you've been misguided, God, I've been there before too, and you need to practice self-light leadership to carry you through, to show up for yourself by honouring your commitment to your goals, and ask yourself those questions. Knowing this is powerful, but having the accountability to actually follow through is where the results happen. And that's exactly why I built my mastermind. And I am going to talk about it at the end. But that's exactly why I built it, because there's a need for this, there's a gap. And then acceptance. And I think when you work through these two pillars, the first two, the clarity and the honouring the commitment, a lot can start to come up, realizations can start to happen, and it needs acceptance. And acceptance alongside forgiveness and self-awareness, these are the most powerful assets you can gift yourself. Because forgiving yourself is a big thing. Not holding on to your past behaviour, to past failures even, or past experiences, whatever your decisions you made. It's fine, you've got to let them go. Forgiving yourself, forgiving other people that have contributed to your journey. But self-awareness to recognise what's in your responsibility as well, alongside the acceptance that you need to master. Where you need to where you need acceptance and where you need to master it will vary on your journey. Is it accepting that you're not truly aligned with where you're at right now? Maybe you're not truly aligned on what you're working on. And again, that question of why. Accepting why are you actually not aligned with this? And acceptance may even come with it being okay to make a decision on letting something go. Acceptance also comes in being okay with being where you are at right now. The support you have, the resources you have, whilst also holding a vision of where you want to get to, or a vision of wanting more, needing more, and accepting that you can work towards it. So it might even just be accepting that's where you're going. It's recognising what you actually need to get to where you want to be. And when I say what you need, it might be recognising you need the coach, you need the tech system, you need to learn a certain skill. There's so much you might have to accept needing, but getting clarity on that and being able to then honour the commitment to having what you need on that path to get you where you want to get to. Acceptance is about that energetic shift, creating faith and trust in yourself, the universe, and in the people around you. It's about that inner knowing of where you are going and choosing no less. I have got an example as well here. This was a massive one for for my client. God, even just before, just thinking of it, I feel the energy in my shift, and I feel it because this is something I struggled with in the past. But one of my clients, she was a mastermind client. I put struggled on my notes, but she did struggle with this. Her neurodivergent son was not getting up on a morning and refusing school. And what we did is we first worked on acceptance with that, because even though that's a life problem, I'm actually a qualified life coach as well, but even though that's a life problem, accepting that as a situation was so important to her because she felt she had limited control. But when she was able to accept that that was going on for her, we could then strategically adjust how she was running her business. And I always say the power is in the operations. This is why I work on organisation and I work on operations, because it's about what you strategically adjust. So we looked at how she was running a business to meet her family needs. And the outcome of this situation was that she was less stressed. She showed up to work on time, because previous to that she was ended up being late. But then the biggest one was that she's now making £4,000 per month, every month consistently. Probably she's about to scale it and implement new services, probably going to be more. But she's doing it simply because she made one tweak that's had a huge impact on her focus. And this is literally the power of focus. But it all started with acceptance. She accepted where she was at, what was happening. She let go of the misalignment, the way she was running the business, which is that one thing. And then I said to her, trust me, this will work. I knew because I'd done it as well. This was a literal cookie cutter, do what I've just done. And she came to me for exactly that, because she knew I had done that. I dealt with that so she could adjust. But if it didn't work for her, we'd have moved on and we'd have looked at a different way that does work for her. But it was so unique. It started with that acceptance. So I want you to think about, what do you need to accept to be able to move forward? And then ask for regulation and rest. So regulation and rest. Your nervous system's a powerful thing, and whilst hustling to get things done, you want the things you want in life to get things done. Sometimes it feels like the only way is hustling, but actually that is counterproductive. Rest is absolutely part of your resilience strategy for your business growth, because your body needs regulation. And this is your sign to understand your flow, master your energy, your pace, because how you need to work is unique to you. So I want you to answer this question for yourself. What impacts your energy, positive or negative? And how often are you strategically implementing rest as a non-negotiable and working on self-regulation? Where do you see in your day-to-day running of your business that you need to adjust how you operate? The biggest challenge here is being unable to recognise tiredness or stress within your body, or completely overriding your basic needs. So if to completely stop and take a break feels impossible at any moment, then meeting basic needs is essential to get your mind and body in a position to do business, to be productive within your business. And I just want to mention the things that I'd say for basic needs is sleep. We know them all. This is not new. You know this. Sleep, hydration, exercise, and nutrition. Of course, I'm going to say that because I'm working on those myself at the minute, and I have been for the past year. And I can't even tell you the difference that it has made to my productivity. In fact, I have more days off than on these days, but when I show up, I get so much work done because it gives me the focus. So I've managed my energy. I don't have to push through because I've got the energy to deliver. And then the final part of the framework is movement. This is the part where you get to do the juicy, fun stuff that actually gets you the results. And without a doubt, energy is important because you need fuel to be productive, whether from rest or from feeding your body, your mind and your soul with exercise, nutritious food, or surrounding yourself by people that are your vibe, or it's new information. However, that energy work, no matter what you do, you just can't meditate and manifest results into your reality. So this work is around the energy work is getting into the right frequency. Yeah, it's essential. But this work, this movement work, is about taking action. When it comes to taking action, it's not about how much time you spend, it's about what you actually spend the time on. I had a client come to me a few months ago now, and she's like, I feel like I'm just constantly working. I said, well, you are. But I feel like I'm not going anywhere. I told her, you're not. And then I told her, I held her mirror up to her, I says, this is what I see, right? I says it's not about how much you're working, it's not about how much time you're spending on your business. It's actually about how you're actually spending that time. And she was like, oh, okay. I was like, so can we have a look at that? Can we look at how you're spending it? And we did it's not even about time management, it's so much more than that. It's about going deeper into what are actually the strategies, the actions that you need to take, that you need to move with, that not only are going to get you results, but are going to work for you in the way that you want to run your business. And so we looked at that, and lo and behold, we are a few months in together now, and she's just at a point where she's about to launch an amazing service, so much so that she has one contact that has led to her a potential paid collaboration with 19, I don't know what to call them without revealing what it is. Let's just say there's 19 points of contact for 19 paid collaborations, which is insane from one action. Because we worked on that again, focus. We did a bit of that, we did this framework, a bit of that acceptance, but the movement, the doing that one action that got her that conversation, that connection was the action. So when it comes to action, remember, it's not about how much time you spend, it's about what you do in that time. It's about connecting you and your business to the right actions. So whilst there are parts of business that are essential to focus on for your strategy, it is about ensuring that what you execute feels good to you. And as an example, strategy should include your overall business assets. So I'm talking like your platforms where you market and communicate with your ideal clients. Most of us are told to use social media, but you don't have to if you don't want to. SEO could be part of your strategy as an alternative, putting your energy into platforms that best bring traffic from searches. So when you're taking action, are you taking action that truly aligns with how you want to run your business? Are you taking action in a way that works towards your overall goal? Because the reality is, the way you move within your business will need to be a lot more hands-on until you scale, until you can fund a team and outsource marketing and sales. But if you're not there yet, master it first. Accept that you have to move as the marketer, move as the brand, move as the salesperson first before you get someone else to do it. And I notice this a lot. I hate doing content. I'm going to outsource it. You need to master it first, because how are you going to know that someone else is creating effective content for you if you've not mastered it first? And I know that can seem like the most challenging thing. And this was a massive wake-up call for me in my own journey. I remember getting, I had a VA a long time ago, and I thought she was great. I thought she was the bee's knees. But the more I learned and the more I grew, I realised that the work that she was doing for me was not, and that was me, not her. It was not to the standards and the level that I want. So much so that like I said a bit ago, I've learned about websites. I've learned about funnels and copy and all the SEO now and ads and all these strategies, assets in your business and how you can use them effectively. Keep learning about marketing. And because I've got that awareness and that knowledge, when I outsource a task now, I have to do it a lot differently. I have to move differently compared to the past version of me that didn't know that stuff. Because now I know what will get a result versus what won't. And that's the position you have to be before you're able to move into outsourcing. But all of this movement, your action, is the strategy piece. But inside the mastermind, we actually map this out together, your strategy piece, step by step, so you're not left figuring it out alone. But I just want you to sit with the charm framework for a minute. Clarity, honour, acceptance, regulation slash rest, movement. I want you to think about what's the one that you really, really need to deeply connect with and work on the most right now. And it might be that you need to just work through them in order, and that's fine. But I definitely want you to take this away, and I want you to sit with the questions I've posed and answer them. Definitely do that. Okay. You could piece it all together. Or, like I've shown you it today, I've shown you what you can take away. You've got this framework. Absolutely, you can get results if you sit and ask these questions, because the answers that you get from within yourself, the best answers you can ever get. Or, if you want a proven roadmap that we create together, not going to do cookie cutter, you want support, personalised support, and a community of ambitious business owners at your level, then that's exactly what my mastermind provides. So, introducing the Time-Rich Mastermind, built on structure, support, and strategy built for you. I should capitalise the word for instead. So, if you're in this position where you've taken the courses, hired the coaches, built the offers, done the marketing, and yet you're juggling too much, switching hats, and there's never enough time, you're working 24/7 for inconsistent income, and you've hit a ceiling and you don't know what to do to change things. You crave recurring income, spaciousness, and a smarter way to scale. And to be fair, most people that come and speak to me, they are craving that sustainable recurring revenue. They know what's coming in every month. But to create that, it's not that you just want structure, it's what you need. You need structure. You need support, but better yet, you need a strategy that actually fits with the way you work. This will mean that you're ready to break through the income plateau and stop running a business that eats into your life. This business mastermind group is where that shift begins. So the mastermind is for you if you've already tried all the things, so signed up for the courses and then never opened it, you've rebuilt your offers again and again and again, you've tried to show up every day online and still felt invisible, you followed all the shoulds that never really fit your life, but yet you're still spinning way too many plates, unsure what's actually working, working too hard for not enough reward, and wondered if you're missing something everyone else has figured out. The thing is, though, guys, right? Have you had personalised support? Because you're not doing it wrong. You just weren't meant to do it alone. And when you're buying these odd masterclasses and you're watching these, downloading these freebies and you're watching this thing, they are great. They're going to give you a piece of the puzzle. But unless you've got a strategy that you can slot that into, or it's personalised to your business, it's unfortunately not going to get the best results that you can. So it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just that you're not meant to do it alone. In fact, who wants to build a business alone anyway? It can be quite lonely. That's why we go networking. So I want to share with you real results before I reveal the price and the details from a client that came and did my mastermind. So I've actually run masterminds for 2 years now. I've changed names throughout, but this is the one that is the ultimate one that I wanted to create. I had a client came in and I worked this out. I had to use ChatGPT for the maths because I can't do maths. I'm shocking. But it turns out it's a 1,700% return on investment. I was like, oh my God. Because when you implement what we work on inside Time-Rich Mastermind, the results speak for themselves. We cover all the foundations if you've not yet got them in place. But the idea is it's about taking you from there to making monthly recurring revenue. But it's more than just the money. It's about creating that time-rich lifestyle. It's freedom. I don't want people burning out. That's what it's all about. So you actually still get to do things you love outside your business and not just be working 24/7. So the mastermind is online, but we have a section of it in Leeds, which I'll explain shortly. And clients have experienced transformative business growth in there, no matter where they're starting from. We've had people at different levels. But one of my clients, I'm going to call her T. So T invested £2,000 into this 6-month programme. And by the end, she was consistently earning another £6,000 per month. So that's a return of over 1,700%, which is insane. Because it's not just support, it's a strategic investment in recurring income, raised prices and added revenue streams, we built them together during the mastermind. So if you're ready to do the work, the growth is real and the payoff is powerful. I wanted to show you some of the other achievements. These are some of more of the financial wins. So Another client, Elle, she signed 3K contracts. This is just insane. Like, she announced to me that she'd signed a 3K contract. Then she got another one. I was like, oh my God. But like it says there, she had a projected over 4K a month, and she's actually managed to keep 4K consistent. One there, earning more than in her old job. And this client, this was an amazing moment because she unexpectedly had to leave her job. And not gonna lie, I was worried for her because she had just closed her old business and started a new one. And we were a bit like, I'm just gonna say, we're a bit like, fuck, what are we gonna do? But she just got her head down. We worked together, and it took her about 2 months. So by the time she actually, a month later, when she left her job, by the time the second month came around and she was getting her last wage, she had already replaced the wage of her old job. Not only did she achieve it in that month, but she grew it to even more. Oh, just insane. Another client there, fully booked for the foreseeable. In fact, this client worked with me in my mini mastermind last year, and she's unable to go back into the mastermind just because she can't make my calls on a Thursday because she's got so many clients. Great problem to have. And then we've got like one-to-one clients, spaces filled and recurring income. But it's not just about, like I say, it's not just about the money. For me, yeah, I love the money side. I love when clients make a lot of money, but it's more than that. It's about support, and it's about getting what you need out of it as well. So, like there, one of my clients, for the first time in 4 years, being productive, and she said to me that she had never done this work before, even though she'd been in other masterminds and worked with many other people. She'd never done this level of work, and it's got her results. And then there were wins such as, I don't think I've shown it on here. We're meant to show it on here, but there was wins such as like clients actually taking time for the family and it didn't affect their income. I have a client who unfortunately had a loss in her family, and every year it's obviously really close to home, so she struggled with that. So the second year we worked together, she wanted to be able to take a lot of time off around that time for her own healing, but it was impacting a business. Well, the first year it impacted a business. So we worked towards how we could navigate that so that she could have the time, the space that she needed to be with her loved ones, to just remember and just, cry and do what you need to do when you're grieving. And she's now consistently been able to still make the same money every month and still take that time, that's just the ultimate goal for me in helping people achieve that. So the doors actually be open technically this week. The doors have been open to join for a while, but they're open now this week. We start this week, but you can join anytime into the Time-Rich Mastermind. However, to celebrate the reopening, I'm offering £500 off for a limited time. So if you've been waiting for the right moment to join, this is it. The mastermind is packed with so much. There's personalised coaching, strategic support, bonuses are amazing, and now you can join at the lowest investment it will ever be, and that's just not a marketing gimmick. It is going up on the 1st of September, and it will stay at the full price. So to save £500, you'd need to join us before September. But what's actually in there? So you get weekly group mentoring calls where you can stay accountable, get feedback, move forward with support from a tight-knit group of women who get it. So you've got me in there. I coach you on a one-to-one basis. Everybody gets their turn. We've got the private WhatsApp group, so you get support between calls when you need a pep talk, idea check, or little celebration. This is like being a one-to-one client without paying for the one-to-one support because you can always tap into my brain. And then we've got the members only portal. So you've got replays, resources, onboarding and courses all in one place. In there, what I'm going to tell you in a minute is one of the bonuses, which covers all the foundations you need to cover. So you've got trainings in there as well to work through if you need anything. But then you get some bonuses as well. So the first bonus is you get a one-to-one session with me, which is worth £250. You get the bonus in-person strategic shift mastermind group, and then you get the foundations training hub. So I'm just going to explain a little bit what these are. So the 60-minute one-to-one, it's to review your goals, untangle your sticking points, map out a clear next step that's unique to your business. So it's like a private coaching call, tailored support, and directly access me and my strategic brain to accelerate results and deepen your impact of your mastermind journey. And you can take this right now if you were joining today or before we even start, or you can take this halfway through. You can take it 6 months up to 6 months after the mastermind finishes. So some people choose to save it for the end so that they can continue to use that and work with me going forward. You also get obviously the foundations training, which you get a lifetime. Oh, I've not put on the notes on my strategic shift day, so I'll have to wing that bit. But the mastermind is lifetime access to this. It's 12 modules covering marketing, messaging, planning, social media, and scalable strategy. There's 12 modules in that. Um, there's absolutely loads. Covers everything you will need to start and grow a business. It gives you on-demand support for every foundational part of your business so that you have clarity, structure as you grow without needing to sign up for another course, so that you get that as well. But the strategic mastermind day, so the strategic shift is new, and you've got a choice of 2 dates. It's here in Leeds, and I'm the Queen of Business Organisation, and so I just love the venue we've gone with, and it's the Queen's Hotel in Leeds, which is right by the station. So what happens on this day is we get in the room together to feel the power of the energy of being supported by each other, and we do a mastermind day together. We work on you and your business, and I am potentially going to bring in a few surprises. So there might be one guest that comes and visits us to do a talk. But I'm not going to tell you what else I've got up my sleeve because it depends if this thing is available. But yeah, it's a day together to do the work a whole day on your business. You get lunch, you get refreshments all day, and a few, like I say, a few surprises. So that's included as well because I really wanted to be able to get in person with the people that I work with. And so far, I have got 2 people coming from down south, so quite a long way to be fair. So the investment is 1,500 for the 6 months, and payment plans are here, are available. But remember, the price goes up on the 1st of September, so these payment plans change then also. But yeah, that is the investment, and I have got. Oh no, I'm not sharing that yet. I'll share in a second. So I just want to answer some of these objections. You might be thinking, what if I don't have time? And that's exactly why this exists, because a lot of people don't have time to actually grow the business. So by getting focused on your time management first, it's not just about finding more time, because we all have the same amount of time. It's about helping you create more time by simplifying how you work your business and focus on what actually matters and what actually works, so that you're not wasting any energy, so that you can actually do the things that get you results, so that you can actually give yourself more time to do the fun stuff outside your business. What if I've tried before and it didn't work? So, well, you might not have tried me before. So if you've never had this level of tailored support strategy and done with you action, then that might be why you might not have had personalised support. And this isn't just theory, it's real-time transformation. I'm actually accessible. You can speak to me every single week on Zoom and in WhatsApp outside of that. What if you can't afford it? So there is multiple payment plans, as you've seen, but we do have bespoke options available as well. All you have to do is pop me a message and we can talk about what works for you, or book a call. What if I fall behind? So you do have lifetime access to the replays, to all the trainings, to everything, and the WhatsApp group to be supported by me. But the major thing is, and the one-to-one session, and the day in person. If you fall behind, just say communication is everything. I have actually paused the mastermind for someone in the past, just so that they can go and be where they needed to be. Just as an example, we've had someone with health issues and we had someone with an unexpected, unfortunate circumstance. So I paused it for her and she could come back in because I truly believe, seeing people as human, but it starts with that communication. Do I need to be further ahead to join? No. I have changed this now so that I can deliver it to anyone at any level in business, and this is the best way to work with me. The only thing I will say is it's better if you've got a service-based business and you're ready to grow. Um, but it's about being smart, scaling, sustainability, not being perfect. So it doesn't matter where you're at because you can get all you need in there to be able to get to where you think you need to be. But to be honest, you'll be surprised at the levels that people get to in business and still will have the same problem as a startup business. Like I remember when I first saw that an in-person day, it blew my mind. But I have got this guarantee. So I've got a 14-day money back guarantee where you can try it for 2 weeks. So that means you get access to 2 calls. And if it's not right fit for you, get a full refund, no hard feelings. But I guarantee that won't happen. Once you see all the training and support available, plus the energy that being in a business mastermind group can bring you, I'm hoping you'll want to stay for life. So if the answer is a solid yes, get yourself into the Time-Rich Mastermind and let's get started. So if you recognise that you need structure, support and strategy, then the next step to enroll is to head to my website, join now. You can use the QR code or the link at the bottom, and or book a 30-minute free clarity call where you can talk through any questions that you might have and see if it's the right fit for you, because I do have other options that we can work on, or you can work with me as well. So there's a couple of other options that we can look into. Okay, so I want to deliver a taster right now of how I can support you. So I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen and hit